All right, well, it's December 31, 2013, New Year's Eve. Looking at statistics and kind of what happened for the year of 2013 in real estate here in San Diego County. And it's interesting, we had a pretty good year in real estate. Overall sales volume was north of 17 billion. It's over a 20% increase from the previous year. It's the best year we've seen in a long, long time for San Diego real estate. So definitely excited about the volume of real estate that was transacted this year. What's interesting though is that most of that was due to price appreciation, because when we look at unit volume here, we're pretty flat year over year, up 0.5%, up 5% in attached. So that was really price appreciation that pushed that volume up. And I think we're going to continue. Price slowed down, but we're going to continue with a little bit of price appreciation through 2014. Now, when we look at what is price doing here towards the end of the year, this unit sales number is kind of interesting. You see, we're down about 10% year over year in the number of listings sold for November, which leads me to believe there's a little bit of a softening in demand. I mean, that's really what it tells us. And that's led to a little bit of a softening in price, about 3% month over month in detached and about 0.5% in attached. So when we look at that, what that's telling us is that price is going to kind of even out. We had a almost 20% run up year over year, and that's kind of evening and softening. So we'll see a little correction through the first quarter. But I think that as seasonality kicks in and buyer demand picks back up, we'll see a little bit of price gain again next year. Now, what I like is that we're following the trends, right? So typically inventory is going to build through the winter months. So September, October, November, inventory builds, and then now we're seeing inventory fall off. November, December, last year, January it fell, then February it starts to build again. And in February is also when that buyer demand is going to start to build again. So, where we're positioned this year versus last year we were in an extremely low inventory market. It was fierce competition coming into the beginning of the year. This year we're actually still in a low inventory market. Currently we're sitting on around 5,800 properties on the market, and if we're carrying 4,000 pendings, tells us we only have about a month and a half worth of inventory on the market. It's pretty low inventory. That's still going to be a seller's market for the most part. Sellers just have to be very realistic with their expectations, because again, month over month, that price has fallen off. So when you're looking at the recent sales, trying to determine where to price your property, you're actually going to want to price it just below that last recent sale to get the maximum action on the property. 3 to 5% below would be the best place to be. Then you won't sit on the market. So overall, we're looking at this. It looks like we're positioned well coming into 2014. When we look at the annual trends, I went all the way back to 2010, and I've kind of charted this because I think that we went so hard and fast the first 2 quarters or 3 quarters of 2013 that the fourth quarter really felt like a kick in the head. I mean, it felt like we just hit the wall. So the interesting thing is, over a longer period of time, back Q3 2010, we were at 32,000, 34,000 homes on the market. Now we're all the way down to 24,000 for the quarter. So that's, 10,000 over the period of a quarter, or 3,000 a month in for sale inventory, and as far as a drop. And that's a seasonal thing. You see every year here, we're peaking and valleying, and we're continually pressing that inventory down. It looks like we've rebuilt some of that from the low, which was really Q4 and Q1 2013. But this is the nice part. Buyer demand has pretty steadily increased. And when we look at this, we see that typically Q3 demand drops off in Q4, stays flat through 1, builds in 2, builds in 3, drops off in 4. And that's that seasonality in the market. And what I like here is that you see that the trend line is a constant, although slight, uphill. So that tells us we are building momentum in terms of buyer demand. We're selling more houses. So that's good. With inventory starting to build a little bit, I think we're in for a really nice, balanced, steady 2014, provided we don't see any big national economic wackiness. We've got great job growth here in San Diego County. It's going to be a good year for real estate, guys. So we appreciate it. We wish you the best, a happy new year, and please remember, call your local Keller Williams agent today for information. This is a broad view of the market as a whole, and your agent can show you exactly what's going on in your neighborhood, your zip code.